I'm with Homeowners Financial Group. I'm a mortgage loan officer here in South Carolina. The YouTube channel you're on is actually about answering questions that a lot of my clients or potential clients have about the mortgage industry, specifically here in South Carolina, but most of the rules are pretty standard state to state. So hope you'll find this channel helpful. Please like and subscribe if you'd like more information. But today, what we're going to talk about is the FHA loan. So I've done videos on sort of a synopsis of all the different loan types. I've done one so far on conventional, plan to do quite a few more. Done a video on MI, mortgage insurance, and what that means. So it only stands that you're going to want to know about FHA. FHA is a great loan. It's a loan that's been around for a long time. And the purpose of an FHA loan is because, the government wanted to make sure that homeownership was available to folks with low to moderate income and make homeownership accessible to more people. So FHA is designed around that. If you watch the conventional loan, you'll sort of know what's expected. Well, with FHA, they go a little bit further in making sure more people are going to qualify. So here's some of the facts you need to know. FHA only requires 3.5% down. Yes, 3.5% down. You can put down more if you want to, and I've had people do that because it made sense. But yeah, 3.5% is the minimum down payment. You can do as little as 3% with conventional, but your MI is usually going to be a whole lot more. So a lot of times if you're working with limited down payment, FHA might be the smarter option. So 3.5% down. Credit scores, that's a big deal. So if you can go down to a 580 credit score for an FHA loan. Now, I've got some folks that have, 800 credit scores that have still gone with FHA because there were other benefits to it. But yeah, you can go down as low as 580. Now, I'm going to caution you here. Don't use one of the free credit services and see 580 and think you're home free. No, you want to have a mortgage loan officer take a look at your credit. And now I know I can do a soft credit pull so there's no damage to the credit score. So it's certainly worth investigating with a lender as opposed to using the free credit scores. Now I will tell you too, those free credit scores are great and I use one, but you use it sort of as a baseline so you can watch your credit. If you're somebody who's trying to improve your credit score, use the free credit report services to actually help you do that. So 580 being the lowest, well, that's fantastic. But you want to try and get to a 620 or a 640 because you're going to see much improvement in the interest rate. All right, so you get your low down payment, you get your low credit score, then you've got your high debt to income. So first I want to define what debt to income is. It's a terminology that we use that sort of defines your income, which we look at gross. You look at net for your budget, but we look at your gross income, meaning how much do you make and how much does your employer pay you, or how much do you earn if you're self-employed? We look at your gross. So we look at the gross income, and then we look at your debt. How much debt do you have? Credit cards, cars, alimony or child support. All of those things are factored into your debt. Now, we don't look at things like childcare expenses or auto insurance or cell phones. And some of the credit bureaus are allowing you to add those things in. We don't consider that. It's always nice to consider it if you don't have a lot of credit, but it's not something that we're using to calculate your debt to income ratio. Now, conventional wants you to be at around 41 to 43%. All right. You can get a little higher than that, but you've got to have a really good score and assets and all of those things. Whereas FHA is going to be a little bit more lenient there. They're going to let you go over that, especially if you've got a long job history or great credit or money in the bank, those sorts of things. And you've demonstrated that you know how to manage your money. Because let's face it, that's what an application is in the first place. It's how well do you manage your money and are you likely to make all your payments to us when we lend you the money? So in looking at all of those factors, if it turns out you really do look good on paper, then you might see you're able to go up to almost half of your gross monthly income in your mortgage payment. Not recommended, but you can do it if there are extenuating circumstances. I might recommend it. So that's probably one of the most appealing parts of it is that it is easier to qualify. In fact, my husband and I used FHA to buy our home a long time ago and refinanced it a few years after we bought it because we had built enough equity and we were able to drop MI altogether and go from FHA to conventional. That's where you want to have a strategy. And FHA is a great place to start your wealth building homeowner strategy. So FHA is certainly worth investigating. Also, especially right now, because you're going to find that interest rates for FHA they tend to be a little bit lower. So it's certainly worth looking into. One caution, the home has got to be in pretty decent shape. There's a list of things that FHA appraisers have to review and make sure that the home that they're going to give a value on actually meets certain criteria. So fixer-uppers are generally not a good idea. But don't exclude fixer-uppers from the list if you're patient and you want to build your dream home, but have found a home with good bones to give you a starting point. FHA offers what's called a 203K loan. It's a renovation loan. So that is something to investigate if all you're finding are fixer-uppers in the marketplace. And I like those, and we'll do a separate video on those because I think there's a lot to talk about there. But I hope I've answered at least the most basic of questions for you today. Please feel free to make a comment below. Subscribe to the channel for more information. Please hit like because it certainly helps. And I've enjoyed sharing this with you today. Hope you have a great day.